The Buick's back seat stuck to my skin. Vinyl, hot from the sun. 1976 smelled like gasoline and warm pavement. Outside, the city hummed a tired song. Cars grumbled, horns blared. Even the buildings seemed to sigh in the heat. My window was cracked open a sliver, not enough. The air, thick and still, carried whispers of the city. I pressed my face against the glass, trying to catch a breeze. My breath fogged the window for a second, then vanished. Everything felt heavy, like the air itself was holding its breath, waiting, and... My father, Rubio Bonzo, moved through the shadows of the alleyway. He was a giant, swallowing the darkness. Streetlights flickered, painting his silhouette against the brick walls. He pulled something behind him, something that scraped against the pavement. At first I thought it was a rug. Then I saw a hand, limp and pale, trailing behind. A man. My father was dragging a man. The man's face was turned towards me. One eye was swollen shut, the other stared blankly. Blood painted a dark stripe down his cheek. He didn't make a sound, just that scraping sound as my father pulled him deeper into the darkness. Rubio Bonzo. Even his name sounded like a threat. He was a man who carried the night in his eyes, a man who spoke in whispers that felt like shouts. I watched him, my small hands gripping the edge of the seat. He stopped, looked around the alley. His fedora was tilted low, hiding his face, but I could feel his eyes, sharp and quick, scanning the shadows. He bent down, saying something to the man. I couldn't hear the words, but they made the man whimper. My father wasn't a big man, not really, but in that alley, in that moment, he seemed to fill the world. He was the only thing that mattered, the only thing that was real. The air grew colder, or maybe it was just fear crawling up my spine. I wanted to look away, to disappear into the sticky vinyl seat, but I couldn't. I was frozen, trapped in the headlights of my own terror. My father glanced back at the car, his eyes meeting mine for a fleeting second. No recognition, no emotion. Just a look that pierced through me, cold and empty. Then he turned back to the man, and I knew with a child's certainty that something terrible was about to happen. My heart hammered against my ribs, a frantic drumbeat in the silence of the summer night. Thump, 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 each beat echoing the dread that coiled in my stomach. The city hummed around us, oblivious and unconcerned. But in that car, in that moment, I was all alone, trapped with the memory of that night, forever stained in the shadows of 1976.